Okay, welcome Team PCS. We had an amazing time in Phoenix. We really wish you guys were all there. So go ahead and mark your calendars for October. Oh man, do you guys remember what the date is? The 20th? What is it, Joanna? 20?
22nd.
That's it, 20th to the 22nd in St. Louis. Ashley Dwyer already reserved a room or a couple rooms for us, but 2 rooms. So we're going to make a separate group. So those who are conference goers or who are interested in going, we can communicate there so we don't actually kill our team page on Facebook. But definitely plan on going. It's going to be huge, as they always are. Because of you guys, I got to go to the 39 Club retreat. And it was amazing. Google Camelback, JW Marriott Camelback Retreat. It was our room. If I was good at athletics, I could do cartwheels through the whole thing, like a million of them. But also just being able to be at a pool all day and listen to people who have gone before me was amazing. They taught me so much. I got more out of sitting by the pool and talking to these people than I actually did at conference. They've just blown my mind. And what's amazing is just, again, the culture of Juice Plus. That's Patton, clearly not on our team, our team meeting right now. Shoot, sorry. So it was really cool to see like how willing they are to share information with me and how willing they are to do 3-way calls with anyone. So I really need you guys to get to NMD. Again, Sue, here I'm asking you for another push, but even though it's fantastic, you feel like you're in kindergarten again. Do you guys remember going to kindergarten and you didn't know who anyone was there? And you're like, oh, I'm the new kid on the block. That's how I felt. It's great, but it's so much better when you have your best friends there. Okay, so I really want you guys to see that is absolutely doable. You guys helped me get to NMD. My goal is to now help you get there if you want to. Okay, but it was, I mean, one of the things that I remember most is, Patton just joined the business, and a lot of you know how I hate excuses when people tell me like, oh yeah, I can't do this because of this. And I'm always trying to find a solution. And poor Patton gets it the most because he's like ready to get into this business. And then, life happens and he's like, Christy, I'm so busy. I have this and I have that. And I'm like, yeah, well, I know this girl who lived out of her car and made it to NMD. So you can't give me an excuse. Just tell me it's not your priority. So this girl was grilling him and she was like, well, why haven't you done that? And he gave her the same thing. I'm tired, I'm starting an internship and I'm getting out of the military. And she's like, so you don't want to make $20,000 a month and sit at the pool and talk to these amazing people? And he was like, oh, well, yeah, everybody here is sitting at the pool is making that. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm listening. So it was amazing how they talked about that. So that's my goal, is to make you guys filthy rich if you want to, and also to be able to give back. The 39 Club retreat had an amazing parties for us. They had activities. I got to hike Camelback Mountain with women from Australia. I got to sit at the pool with Canadians who are totally wild and crazy, exhausting, but like, who gets to work with people in a different country and hear how they're just blowing up their businesses and taking on different things? So for me, that's what started off conference. That was absolutely amazing. And I can't thank you guys enough for helping me get there. But I really, really want to pull you up and do the same thing. Like, I want some buddies at the pool with me, okay? So the next thing I want you guys to do is hear Pam, because, she's been my partner in crime and the majority of this business. And I always really love her take on conference. She always puts things really simply. So Pam, will you fill them in on what you got out of it? And then I'm going to hop in after you and continue with what you don't cover.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you hear me? I'm not muted, am I? Okay. So this is my 5th conference. And even though I missed a lot of people there, Tina, Cassie, Joanna, all of you, everybody there, everybody over here needs to be there in St. Louis. But I really do feel like it was probably my favorite conference, only because I came out of it with a brand new appreciation for Juice Plus, the company, the timing of everything going on right now. where we're placed in this whole marketplace of what people are looking for. And I just want you guys to get really excited, because I think sometimes when we know what Juice Plus is, like we've had it in our back pocket and we've been talking to people about it, and you kind of lose that zeal for it. And what I always try to remember is when I took my 18-month-long break and then I shared it with my neighbor, she was just like, yeah, I need this. Like, there's no contest. I know I need this. And I just remember thinking, there are people out there that need to know about this. And she's the one that really like lit that fire underneath me. Like, hey, remember, there are people that don't know this even exists. And I think we forget that. One of the things that they talked about at conference that really like solidified it for me was somebody got up there and they said, I don't think you realize that we have not only the best product out there for improving health. I mean, think about it. We improve health on a cellular level. Like, we actually get inside the body and improve it on the cellular level. So we impact every single stage of health. So not only do we have the best product, we have the simplest programs. You can't get any simpler than One Simple Change, my God. Like, really focus on eating more whole foods for a month, and then the next month focus on drinking more water. Like, you can't get any simpler than that. Now, T30 is simple. You just got to eliminate gluten and dairy and sleep. Like, come on. And take 2 shakes a day. Drink 2 shakes a day. So we have the simplest programs. We have the research that not only says we know it works, but we also know why it works. No other company has that. I don't know if you guys know that. They may have testimonials, but they have no idea why it's working, because nobody has put their money where their mouth is to figure out why it's happening inside people's bodies. So we have the scientific research, and then we have billions of people out there who are looking for it. Like, we have this entire whole marketplace of people who are looking to feel better and looking to look better, and they have absolutely no idea where to start. And then there's us, who can just go say, hey, this might help. I don't know. I like it. That's like our only job, is just to go out there and say, hey, I don't know if you've been struggling with what I've been struggling with, like Ashley, every time I would eat gluten, my body would break out in hives, or I was sick and tired of wanting to take a nap at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Like, I don't know if that's what you're struggling with, but this is what I found and it's working for me, and I'd love to share it with you. That is all. That's all we have to do. It doesn't get any simpler. So when they said that all those things, we have the best product, we have the simplest program, we have the scientific research, and then we have billions of people who are looking for it. I was like, oh, well, that makes it really easy for me to go out and do my job. And the other thing to be really confident in is, Cassie and I have talked about this a lot with T30 and One Simple Change. We get so bogged down with the responsibility for our customers, right? We're like, we want them to have a good experience. And what if it doesn't work out for them? And what if they don't lose the weight that they wanted to lose weight? Guess what? That's not our job. Juice Plus is going to help them whether they feel it or not. That's point blank. Whether they feel it in 4 months, 8 months, 12 months, it's helping them, and we know it's helping them because we know science. We know, we have the research that it helps every single person that it gets into. So be confident in that, and don't worry about their experience. If you just love on them and you give them this opportunity, you give them this amazing product, you give them these amazing programs, they will figure it out, and that it'll just happen. So don't be scared, and don't get so bogged down with what if, and I can't paint the future. Nobody can paint the future. Okay, so another really eye-opening, am I talking too fast? Are you guys tracking? Okay. Another thing that really changed for me was, bless Christy's heart, man. Christy, I love you, because how many times have I gone back and forth with you on T30 and how I just don't see how that it flies in the face of everything I've learned about nutrition coaching. Like, it just really does. When I thought about T30, I really just viewed it as a weight loss program. As much as I kept telling people it wasn't, that's how I viewed it, because that's what I wanted. I wanted to lose weight. And so, going to this conference and getting to hear stories from people about this guy who was in the hospital because his stomach was paralyzed and his body didn't know how to get food into his digestive tract or get into his small and large intestine. 30 days on Transform 30, and he's out of the hospital, off all 20 of his medications, and is no longer suffering from these gastrological issues. Has nothing to do with weight loss, but completely changed his life, And we just don't know what people are struggling with. So when somebody comes to you and say, hey, I really want to get healthier, I want to lose 10 pounds, take the time, sit down with them and say, all right, I hear you. I hear that you want to lose weight. I may have a program that works for you, but let's talk a little bit more about what you're looking for. What changes are you looking for in your health? What are you struggling with? Are you lethargic? Are you does life suck for you right now? Or what are some other changes that you're looking for? Because T30 is going to help with all of that. Just flooding your body with good stuff is going to help with that. And if weight loss happens, as it does for a lot of people who get healthy, then that's the bonus. But what we really should be doing is talking to them about the education of what's happening inside their body when they're adding their 2 shakes a day and taking their capsules and then making all these healthy habits. So if you're having this mental block with T30, I'm your girl. Come talk to me, because I've had a mental block with T30 for years. So this conference really blew my mind when we really talk about what people are struggling with. So there's a new program, not really new program, but an easier way to do T30. Because, so the whole marketing about T30 is you can do anything for 30 days, right? Not this one. I can do anything for a shorter period of time. So Jake Kelly started doing this 10-day shred, which sounds all fancy and crazy and intimidating, but it's really not. It's just 10 days of what I was trying to do for 30 days in T30. I was trying to do strict, follow every single guideline to a T and not have a morsel of gluten or dairy for 30 days. It's a long time. So they're doing it for 10 days. So for 10 days, you're going to follow the guidelines as best as you can, really focus in on making those habits. And then after that, deciding maybe you want to do another 10 days, or maybe you want to go into the rest of your 20 days and picking and choosing what is going to be doable for life for you, what's going to be sustainable for the rest of the month for you as far as T30. But it's just a really easy way to get people interested, because it's only 10 days. You can do anything for 10 days. And you don't have to be perfect. I really appreciated when she talked about having impeccable customer care with your 10-day shredders, because it's only 10 days. You can check in with your customer twice a day for 10 days. But that's really what's going to give them that positive experience and give them that assurance that you're with them every step of the way and that you're human too. And if you have a weak moment, chalk it up to a weak moment and then start over. But don't let that weak moment turn into 20 days of a weak moment. So,
hey, Pam.
Yeah.
Pam, I'm sorry, it's Kathy. What I thought was interesting when I was taking notes was they were saying that they check in with their shredders for 3 times a day for the first 5 days.
Yeah.
And then 2 times a day for 5 days, so that you're just constantly in their ear, making them be successful, which, that's just a huge commitment as a rep to do if you decide you want to do this. But I could totally see that working.
Yeah.
For somebody.
I totally heard 3 times a day, and then twice a day I'm a mom. I don't have time in the middle of the day. I can check in with you in the morning when I wake up, and I can check in with you after I put my kid to bed. But in the middle of the day, it's just too hard for me. If you want to do 3 times a day, more power to you. I just know I wouldn't be able to do it, and so I don't want to make any of my distributors feel like they have to stop in the middle of the day and check in. But you do what works for you and your group of people that you have getting together. For me, we started to, so, Kathy actually told me about this. One of our speakers talked about if you want to see change, you have to do it to yourself first. And so that's what we're doing with the 10-day shred is we created a Facebook group. So if you guys want to take part, let me know. We'll get you in there. Right now it's me, Ashley, Christy, Katie, but we'll get you in there and we're going to test it on ourselves for the next 10 days. And then that way we will have an experience, blah, blah, blah. But my point is, so that is one of the ways that I'll be using to check in, because quite honestly, I don't know if I can do the texting and checking in like one-on-one, but I can sure enough I can post every single one of my meals, and I can call people out on a Facebook group and see what they're eating for lunch that day. But so my takeaway was you got to make it work, but you also got to be really close with your customer in that 10 days, closer than you are with any of your other Juice Plus customers. And then the way to market it is just saying less and creating interest. And so posting things like me and my counter full of colorful fruits and veggies and talking about what we're going to be doing, or just messaging someone and saying, hey, my friends and I, some of us are doing a 10-day shred, thought you might be interested. And then shut up and let them ask you for more information. The shutting up part is hard for me. And then if they want to ask you for more information, send them to your T30 website and say, hey, these are the guidelines. We're going to go balls to the wall for 10 days and then go from there and see how we feel. And then also check in with your customers. I checked in with one of my customers today, and all I said was like, hey, I just wanted to see how your experience was going. And she was like, it's been going really good. I think I'm a little bit impatient. I kind of wanted to see some changes. And I got this big trip coming up, and I was like, hey, we're doing a 10-day shred. You're welcome to join us and get you some complete. Join us, and I'm sure you'll see something in 10 days. And so she's going to buy her complete and do it with us. So just check in with your customers that maybe have never talked to you about wanting to see changes. Things change all the time. People want to lose weight all the time. People want to see body changes all the time where they, I don't know, had a big cheat. Oh, check in with them like today, because I bet a lot of people had some crazy weekends for St. Patty's Day and are feeling like absolute crud. So good opportunity. And then using that Facebook group or using that opportunity in those 10 days to really educate them more, bridging the gap, sending them more information about what the capsules are doing in their body, what the complete is doing in their body, and using that opportunity to turn them into a long-term customer. So, oh man, do I keep going, Christy? Did you just want me to stop at the shred? Because I got more.
Yeah, hold on. I think Ashley might have something to say about the shred real quick since she raised her hand.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see you, Ashley.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So one thing that I noted down, that Pam covered everything I had in my notes, but for the people who don't want to give up drinking, they even came out with like a little recipe list called mocktails. So cocktails without alcohol. And I thought that was really super cute to celebrate or whatever and have a mocktail. So that's all I have for what Pam said.
No, that's good. It's really about the experience for that one.
One of the things that really stuck out to me was one of the ladies got up there and she was like, 10 days is just one weekend. You can start on Monday, get through one weekend, and then you're done. By the end of the middle of the next week, you're done with your 10 days. And I thought, that's so cool, because people are always like, oh gosh, what am I going to do on the weekends? The weekends are so hard for me. It's one weekend. Like, come on, you can do one weekend. So yeah, I think that's awesome. And then,
hey, Pam, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. I didn't know if I was unmuting myself. So question, sorry, I just got a phone call, so I might have missed this if you said this, but so ordering wise, nothing changed though. So you still do the like 4 months worth of it, and they said that people are fine with that, and then they do different 10 days within there. Did I totally miss you saying that?
Yeah, so the 10 days is just the jump start into the T120. And so they're still going to be ordering the 4 months, and we say, listen, all of our products come into a 4-month supply, but for the first 10 days, we are going to go like, we're going to do it as by the book as possible. And then the rest of the T30 is going to be, how am I going to make this a lifestyle? How am I going to make this into something I can do every day for 4 months? But yeah, definitely tell them up front, like, hey, you only have to commit yourself and really stretch yourself for 10 days. And then after that, it's going to be like a little bit more lax, and you can figure out what works for you. And then there was another lady that talked about how she loved the 10 days so much that she decided to do every Monday through Friday. She was going to be super strict on T30, and then, be a little bit more lax on the weekends, not go crazy, like indulging on everything, but more lax on the weekends, more like, going out with your family, maybe not being so strict, but every 5 days, or like every Monday through Friday, she does the 10-day shred, 5-day shred, whatever. Does anybody have any other questions about 10-day shred? How it helps people get onto T120? Okay, so a few other things that I wanted to talk about that really, I think things that I've been learning along the way, but really just kind of jumped out at me at this conference was, when I've been talking to people about the business, a lot of times I'll downplay it and I'll say, hey, it's super easy. You get discount on your own product. Like, we don't have any sales quotas. I downplay because I don't want it to be like this big overwhelming thing that people are scared of. But at the same time, I'm not giving them the chance to really reach their full potential, because I'm not even giving them the opportunity to know what's out there, what is even out there. And so I sat down with my team yesterday and we went through this wrap up, and I opened it up with this recording of Jeff Roberti, who talked at the conference wrap up. And Jeff Roberti, if you don't know his name, but he's the top income earner in Juice Plus and one of the top income earners in all of network marketing all over the world. So he's going through this call, and he talks about how he got started with Juice Plus, and this is back before Juice Plus was Juice Plus. And, he is just this ordinary, average waiter, a broke waiter, who was invited to this conference and was searching for something to change his life. And he didn't have any money for a conference ticket, and he didn't, couldn't afford to fly down there. So he drove down there and slept in his car every night at the conference. And he didn't share it in this call, but he shared it in another interview that I heard him say. But he slept in his car every night, and he would go into the conference and shower at the conference, and he wore the same suit every day because he was just that broke. And he talks about how he got back in his car and he just cried because God had given him this opportunity for an ordinary guy to make extraordinary income based on his own work ethic. There's nothing different about him from every other average Joe out there, and he was just handed this opportunity to do whatever he wanted to do with, and he just happened to take it and run with it. He also talked about how when he first started, imagine being broke and putting this number out there and saying, my goal is to make $100,000 a year. And to him at that time, it was like a pipe dream. Like, he knew, he was like, there's no way I'm going to make that. But he put it out there. And eventually he made $100,000 a year. And then he made $100,000 a month. And then he made $100,000 a week. So it's like, you don't ever want to downplay what this business can do for people, because my team members, when they heard that yesterday, they were like, what? Like, what? And I was like, have I not ever told you that story before? Have I not shown you what this opportunity is? Like, I knew that because Christy probably showed it to me, but by downplaying everything and making it seem so like it's just, I don't know, like a hobby, you really don't give anybody the opportunity to take advantage of it. And so I really I talked with them a little bit more about how there's a difference between simplicity and easy. So our business, without a doubt, is about as simple as it gets. Our whole job is to go out there and tell people Juice Plus exists. That's it. And then be their friend and like love on them. And then teach them how to go out there and tell people that Juice Plus exists. So that's about as simple as it gets. But the big thing that people, I think, don't realize, or they assume, is that the Juice Plus business is easy. It's not always easy, and it's not always convenient, and it's not going to be something that you can stay in your comfort zone with. I remember when at some point in my Juice Plus journey, it wasn't right away, absolutely not, but at some point I decided that I wanted to earn what I was that I wanted to earn what I was earning before I got pregnant. I wanted to earn that while I was staying at home with Leah. Well, I knew that wasn't going to happen by getting 5 customers a year or a handful of customers a year. So at some point, I had to plan events and do events and go to events where nobody showed up and get on the phone with people and have really hard conversations and talk to people who scared the bejesus out of me and hear no over and 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 over again, to be able to match the income that the goal that I had set for myself. And it's been, to be able to sit at home and do this business, sitting here and talk to you guys and share with you guys that, what I've learned after spending 4 days in Phoenix, Arizona with a 5-year-old, which that's another adventure in and of itself. But also to be able to sit at home and be with my kid and travel all over and get to do things and make a few $1,000s a month is a blessing that hopefully I'll be able to give to more and more people, but it didn't come easy all the time. And so if you're doing your business and it's easy all the time, don't expect much growth. And if you want growth, you've got to make it hard sometimes. Not all the time. And it's fun all the time. Not all the time. It's a fun business, but you really have to stretch yourself and you really have to grow and figure out what that means for you. The other thing to remember is there's a fine balance that you've got to maneuver between autonomy and mentorship. So you've got to take responsibility for your business, be independent, make your goal or establish your goals, plan what you're going to do in order to achieve those goals, show up and do those goals. All of that stuff is you. That's you. That's all you. And then you've got to lean on your team and you've got to learn from your sponsor and you've got to learn from your sidelines and you've got to learn from your downlines and all of that stuff. Oh my God, Christy, I'm talking too long. But all of that is this seesaw that you've got to learn how to balance. So don't try to do it all on your own, but also take responsibility for your own business. Part of that is setting aside some time each week to learn the skill set, because nobody is ever born with this skill set, right? None of us were born learning how to walk. We had to learn how to walk. You had to learn how to talk. Well, guess what? You have to learn how to do the Juice Plus business. You don't sign your distributor application and read the new distributor packet and know how to get to NMD. You've got to learn things. So a few of the things that you've got to learn is what network marketing is. You got to learn it if you're going to promote it. If you're going to, have people join you, you got to know what it is. So 3 things that the very first thing you got to learn is that napkin, that 45-second napkin presentation. It's in our drive. Read it. Seriously, by Friday, read it. And then Go Pro and Go for No are 2 fabulous books to help you build belief in this industry. I'll touch on this really quick that I talked with Christy about over the weekend. I don't know if you guys have realized, but our economy, the way that we function in this world is absolutely ties right into network marketing. Everything that we do is relationship driven. Think about every single interaction that you have. It's because of a relationship. Every decision that you make is because of a relationship. Now, people are no longer, they're Googling less about how to buy something and going on Facebook and saying, hey, does anybody have this? I'm thinking about buying it, right? That's what network marketing is. Everybody wants to know their friends' opinions. They want advice from their friends. They want to know what their friends are doing because you're friends with that person for a reason. You obviously are like-minded, right? Why are we not using that to share Juice Plus? Come on. All right, I'm getting a little crazy. So be confident in network marketing. That's just the way the world is. It's not anything new. That's just the way the world is. So be confident in the way that we'd market Juice Plus because that's where the world is going. Oh, to Share Juice Plus, look for the Be the Good app. I know Kathy had actually posted about it months ago. They talked about it at conference. It's an app. It's like 99 cents, I think. But it has videos, recorded calls, trainings in that app. And so you're able to share Juice Plus really easily. Always go to our Juice Plus YouTube, share from there videos. And then, there's Facebook pages and stuff that you can be on. Be confident and also learn about our business model. I think sometimes we get confused. And whenever we have a new team member, we're like, well, you can do the HLP and get $100 bonus, or you can do fast track to VF, or if you really want to do go crazy, fast track to sales coordinator. We got to make it easy, right? Make it super, super easy for these new team members and say, your goal is to be a qualified VF and then get as many people as you can to join you and become qualified VFs. And what is a qualified VF? Everybody say, oh, you're all muted. Everybody say 1,000 people in your business, or 40 Orchard Garden distributor or customers, or I don't even know how many T30 orders. And see, I need to learn. But just make it very, very simple. You need to be a qualified VF, and you need to bring qualified VFs onto your team. Social media, I think Christy's going to talk about this, but keeping your eyes and ears open on social media at all times. Stop looking at the cat videos. Start looking at what your friends are complaining about, because obviously there's a need. As much as I hate complaining on Facebook, but there's a need. And if there's a need strong enough that they're going to complain about it on Facebook or ask for help on Facebook, don't be shy. Contact them. Be like, hey, I think I might be able to help you. Okay, last thing I'm talking about. This really, they were preaching to me. At the end of conference, she talked about goal setting pretty much, and was like, you should have a clear B. What is your goal? And if Christy were to ask me, Pam, what is your goal? I should be able to say QNMD by August without even thinking about it. Clear as can be and time-based. And that should be my whole focus, make it very simple. I don't think about what you can do. I don't know, just have that clear, tunnel vision. That's what I want. And everything that I'm going to do is going to get me to that point. Another thing that they talked about was your schedule and your calendar and all of your actions have to match what that clear B is, right? So last year, I wanted to make NMD by this conference. Well, traveling half the year didn't match that clear B, did it? Very much, not so much. So there's a disconnect, right? My calendar should have reflected what that B was, and it didn't. And guess who's not NMD right now? This sucker. So you have to really take a hard look at your life and say, what is my goal? Tell it to your sponsor, first of all. Tell it to your sponsor, but what is my goal? And then what am I going to do in order to make that happen? Because your schedule will dictate that. And you aren't going to get what, you lay in bed at night and think, oh, I really wish I was an NMD so that my husband doesn't have to spend 2 more years in the Army that he hates. Because you don't get what you want. You get what you schedule. You got to schedule that SHIT. Trying not to curse as much. It's hard being around Christy. Okay, and so my last thing, dang it, Christy, I took the whole meeting, is really be honest with yourself. And I'm not here to tell you that you have to be whatever position. I don't care what position that you want to be. All I care about is what you want to be, what goals that you have, and then you go after it. But know what you want to be, and then also know what you're leaving on the table for somebody else to do too. Because like I said, we have the product, we have the program, we have the research, and then we have a whole bunch of people that are looking for it. And if you don't do it, somebody else will. So that's it. I'm done.
Awesome. I love it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this. If you guys want to get back on and hear a little bit about organizing your mind, growing leaders, and a little bit about some other tiny things. Get back on. If not, I'm still going to record it so you guys can get on. But Pam, round of applause. You did an amazing job.
Sorry, I'm chatty.
No, it was awesome.
In a minute.
What's up? You're
I'll
good.
see you guys back here in a minute.
Right back at the same link.
Okay.